You stand in front of your closet. The pants that fit 6 months ago don't button anymore. You're eating the same foods, living the same life, but your body keeps changing. You wonder what you're doing wrong. Meanwhile, there's a country where men in their 50s look lean and energetic, where weight gain with age isn't just accepted as normal. What do they know that we don't? Welcome to Prime Health Lab. I'm here to help you understand the real mechanisms behind health, energy, and staying strong as you age. Today, I want to tell you a story about a man named Hiroshi. He moved from Tokyo to Los Angeles at 42 years old. Within 3 years, he gained 35 pounds without changing his exercise routine. His story reveals exactly why Japan has one of the lowest obesity rates in the world, while America struggles with the opposite. If you want more content that breaks down health in ways that actually make sense, go ahead and subscribe. Let's get into Hiroshi's story. Hiroshi arrived in Los Angeles in the spring of 2019. He was 42, worked in software engineering, and felt excited about his new life in America. Back in Tokyo, he weighed 165 pounds at 5'9". He wasn't an athlete. He didn't go to the gym. He just lived his normal Japanese life. 3 years later, in 2022, he stepped on a scale and saw 200 pounds. He was shocked, confused. He felt like he hadn't changed anything major, yet his body had transformed completely. Let me walk you through what happened, because Hiroshi's experience reveals something profound about why obesity rates differ so drastically between these two countries. In Tokyo, Hiroshi lived in a small apartment in Shibuya. Every morning he walked 7 minutes to the train station. He took the train 20 minutes to work, then walked another 12 minutes to his office. After work, the same routine in reverse. On weekends, he walked to the grocery store, to restaurants, to meet friends. He never thought about it as exercise. It was just how you moved through the city. When researchers tracked his steps, he averaged about 9,000 steps per day without ever intending to exercise. In Los Angeles, everything changed. Hiroshi bought a car within his first week. He had to. The city was built for driving, not walking. His new apartment was in a complex with a parking garage. He drove 4 minutes to work and parked in another garage. He drove to the grocery store. He drove to restaurants. He drove everywhere. Within a month, his daily steps dropped to around 3,000. He lost 6,000 steps per day, which equals about 3 miles of walking, just by living in an environment designed differently. But the walking was just the beginning. The real transformation happened with food, and it started so gradually that Hiroshi didn't even notice it. In Tokyo, Hiroshi ate breakfast at home most days. Rice, miso soup, grilled fish, pickled vegetables, green tea. The portions were modest. His bowl of rice was about the size of his fist. The fish was maybe 3 ounces. Total calories around 400. It took him 15 minutes to eat because he sat at his small table, used chopsticks, chewed carefully. His body had time to register fullness. In Los Angeles, Hiroshi discovered American breakfast. At first, it felt like a treat. Pancakes, eggs, bacon, hash browns, orange juice, coffee with cream and sugar. He'd finish the whole plate because that's what you do. You don't leave food. The portion sizes were enormous compared to what he was used to. That breakfast contained about 1,200 calories, triple what he ate in Japan. And he'd finish it in 10 minutes, eating quickly while checking his phone. Lunch in Tokyo meant walking to a small restaurant near his office. He'd order a set meal, maybe udon noodles with tempura vegetables and a side salad, maybe a rice bowl with grilled chicken and miso soup. The meals came in bento-style portions. Everything was separated, arranged beautifully, and modest in size. About 500 to 600 calories. He'd eat with coworkers, talking, taking his time. The meal lasted 30 minutes. Lunch in Los Angeles meant ordering delivery to his desk or driving through a fast food restaurant. A burger, large fries, and a soda became his regular order. 1,500 calories, eaten alone in front of his computer screen in 12 minutes. He barely tasted it. His brain never registered satisfaction because he was distracted, eating unconsciously while working. Dinner was where things really diverged. In Tokyo, Hiroshi would stop at the grocery store on his way home, walking, of course, and buy fresh ingredients for that night. Not for the week, for that night. Japanese grocery stores are set up for daily shopping. He'd make a simple meal: grilled salmon, steamed vegetables, rice, maybe some tofu and miso soup. About 700 calories. He'd eat at his table, no TV, no phone, just food. In Los Angeles, after a long day and a long commute in traffic, Hiroshi was exhausted. He'd order takeout or heat up something frozen: Chinese food, pizza, Mexican food, Italian. The portions were massive. A single takeout container often had 1,200 calories or more. He'd eat it on the couch, watching Netflix, finishing everything because he paid for it and it tasted good. By the time his brain registered fullness, he'd already consumed far more than his body needed. Now here's where Hiroshi's story gets really interesting, because the weight gain wasn't just about the food itself. It was about something deeper that he didn't understand until much later. In Japan, Hiroshi had a phrase he lived by without even thinking about it: hara hachibu. It means eat until you're 80% full, not stuffed, not satisfied in the American sense, just no longer hungry. This wasn't a diet rule, it wasn't willpower. It was just how people ate. You stopped before you felt full because you knew that feeling of fullness would come 10 minutes later as your body processed the food. In America, Hiroshi lost this practice almost immediately. American portions demanded that you eat until the plate was empty. American eating speed meant you could consume 1,000 calories before your brain even registered that food had arrived. The cultural message was different too. Clean your plate, get your money's worth, supersize for just 50 cents more. Every environmental cue pushed him toward eating more, eating faster, eating past fullness. But something else changed that Hiroshi didn't expect. The food itself was different in ways that affected his hunger and satisfaction. In Tokyo, Hiroshi's meals were built around whole foods: rice, fish, vegetables, soy products, seaweed. These foods are what researchers call high-satiety foods. They fill you up relative to their calories. A bowl of miso soup with tofu and seaweed is warm, flavorful, takes time to eat, and contains maybe 60 calories. It makes you feel like you've eaten something substantial. Vegetables prepared simply, steamed or grilled, add volume and fiber to meals without adding many calories. In Los Angeles, Hiroshi's meals were built around what food scientists call hyper-palatable foods. Foods engineered to hit the perfect combination of fat, sugar, and salt that overrides your natural satiety signals. A burger with special sauce, cheese, bacon. Fries that are crispy outside and fluffy inside. A soda that's cold and sweet and slightly acidic. These foods are designed to make you want more even when you've had enough calories. They're designed to be eaten quickly. They're designed to be unsatisfying in a way that keeps you coming back. Hiroshi noticed something strange after a few months in America. He was eating more food than ever, consuming more calories than ever, but he felt hungry more often. Back in Japan, he'd eat his modest breakfast and feel satisfied until lunch. In America, he'd eat his massive breakfast and feel hungry again by 10:30. He'd snack: a muffin from the break room, some chips from the vending machine, a granola bar that claimed to be healthy but was basically a candy bar. The drinking culture was different too. In Tokyo, Hiroshi drank green tea throughout the day, water with meals, maybe beer or sake with dinner on weekends, but modest amounts. The typical beer in Japan is about 12 ounces. In America, he discovered big gulps, venti lattes, craft beers served in 20-ounce glasses. He'd drink a sweetened iced coffee on his morning commute, 400 calories before he even got to work. A soda with lunch, another 300 calories that his brain didn't register as food. Then there was the social aspect. In Tokyo, Hiroshi's social life involved walking. Meeting friends meant walking to a restaurant, to a bar, to someone's apartment. Entertainment was active. In America, his social life centered around sitting. Dinner meant sitting at a restaurant for 2 hours. Hanging out meant sitting at someone's house. Movies, bars, coffee shops. Everything was sedentary, and almost everything involved food or drinks. Hiroshi also noticed the stress was different. In Tokyo, work was demanding, but he left it at the office. His commute on the train was time to decompress, read, listen to music. He'd arrive home feeling separate from work. In Los Angeles, traffic was his commute. 45 minutes each way of sitting in his car, gripping the steering wheel, feeling frustrated. He'd arrive home still carrying all that work stress. And what did he do with that stress? He ate comfort food, easy food. Food became his reward for getting through a hard day. By the end of his first year in America, Hiroshi had gained 15 pounds. By year 2, 25 pounds. By year 3, 35 pounds. He kept thinking he'd get it under control, but every aspect of his new environment was pushing him in the opposite direction. In his 3rd year in Los Angeles, something happened that changed everything for Hiroshi. He went back to Tokyo to visit his family for 2 weeks. He stayed with his brother in his old neighborhood. And something remarkable happened. Without trying, without thinking about it, he lost 7 pounds in those 14 days. He wasn't dieting. He wasn't exercising more than usual. He was just living like he used to live. And his body responded immediately. When he came back to Los Angeles, he sat down and really analyzed what was different. What he discovered changed how he understood weight, health, and why America struggles with obesity while Japan doesn't. The key insight was this. In Japan, the default choice is the healthy choice. In America, the healthy choice requires constant effort, constant decision-making, constant willpower. And willpower is a limited resource. You can't fight your environment forever. Let me explain what Hiroshi meant by this. In Tokyo, when he felt like having a snack, he'd walk to the convenience store. That walk burned 50 calories and took 10 minutes. At the store, the snack options were portion-controlled. A small package of rice crackers, a piece of fruit, maybe a small container of yogurt. Nothing was supersized. The largest option was still modest by American standards. So even when he snacked, he consumed maybe 150 calories. Total impact including the walk, 100 calories added to his day. In Los Angeles, when he felt like a snack, he'd walk to his kitchen, open the pantry, and grab a family-size bag of chips. No physical effort required. No natural pause to reconsider. And the bag contained 8 servings. But who stops at 1 serving? He'd eat half the bag while watching TV, consuming 600 calories without even realizing it. The environment made overconsumption effortless. Hiroshi noticed that in Japan, restaurants served smaller plates. The typical dinner plate was about 8 inches in diameter. In America, dinner plates were 12 inches. That difference seems small, but it's enormous. The same amount of food looks sparse on a 12-inch plate, so you add more. You feel like you didn't get enough. On an 8-inch plate, a modest portion looks abundant, complete, satisfying. Even the way food was presented mattered. In Japan, meals came with multiple small dishes, 5 or 6 little plates, each with something different. Pickles here, soup there, vegetables, protein, rice. The variety created satisfaction. Your brain registered that you'd eaten many different things. In America, meals came on one giant plate. A huge portion of one thing, maybe a side. Less variety, more volume. Your brain didn't feel the same sense of completion. Hiroshi also realized that the walking culture in Japan wasn't just about burning calories. It was about rhythm, about breaking up sedentary time, about maintaining insulin sensitivity. When you walk for 10 minutes after eating, even a short walk, your blood sugar doesn't spike as high. Your body processes the food more efficiently. In America, Hiroshi would eat a big meal and then sit on the couch for 3 hours. His blood sugar would spike, his insulin would surge, and his body would store more of those calories as fat. The food quality was different in ways that weren't obvious at first. In Japan, even processed foods had shorter ingredient lists, less added sugar, fewer preservatives. The bread was less sweet. The sauces were less intense. In America, sugar was in everything. The bread, the pasta sauce, the salad dressing, the crackers. Hiroshi was consuming 40 or 50 grams of added sugar per day without even eating dessert. In Japan, he'd consumed maybe 10. What really struck Hiroshi was how much mental energy it took to stay healthy in America. In Japan, he never thought about his weight. He never counted calories. He never felt like he was restricting himself or using discipline. The environment supported health automatically. In America, staying lean required constant vigilance, saying no to free donuts at work, choosing the small size when everyone else got large, parking far away to get extra steps, packing lunch when everyone else ordered delivery. Every single day was a series of decisions that went against the flow of the culture. This is the real answer to why obesity rates differ so dramatically. It's not genetics. It's not willpower. It's not individual failure. It's that Japan built an environment where the path of least resistance leads to health, while America built an environment where the path of least resistance leads to weight gain. Hiroshi was the same person with the same habits and tendencies. Only his environment changed. And that environment changed everything. So here's what I want you to think about. You can't move to Japan. You can't redesign your entire city. But you can look at your own environment and ask, what are my defaults? When I'm tired, stressed, or not thinking, what does my environment push me toward? Because the truth is, you're not failing at willpower. You're succeeding at adapting to an environment that makes unhealthy choices easy and healthy choices hard. The real power comes from recognizing that and making small changes to your personal environment. Start with one thing. What's one default in your daily life that you can shift? Drop it in the comments. Let's figure this out together.